another match point.
Incredible third set here.
They changed their strategy a little bit and they fought their way back in.
There it is, game, set, and match.
Good morning and welcome to the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League State Tournament. This is the championship round of the A flight between the #1 seeded team of Sarah Harron and Susie Keel versus the #3 seeded team of Nikki Kura and Jen Nielsen. I'm Patty Hogan along with the one and only New Jersey's finest, Dave Broderick, calling the action. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Patty. Yeah, it looks like we're in for a treat for everyone out there watching. Just very quickly, the players on the court. We have on the bottom of the screen to the right side, playing the deuce side of the court, lefty, is Susie Keel, playing out of Montclair Golf Club. And her partner on the bottom of the screen to the left, wearing the white hat, black outfit, is Sarah Harron, playing out of Navesink Country Club. And up at the net right now, we have to the right of our screen, in the blue top, I believe, Nikki Kura, playing out of, I believe they play out of...
Dave, they play out of the club in the woods.
Clearwater Club, absolutely, representing. And her partner, lefty, on the left side of the screen. At the top of the screen is Jen Nielsen. Today's match will be 2 out of 3 sets, tie-break sets. And our chair umpire is Carol Evertson, the staple on the women's and men's platform tennis scene up in the chair.
Yeah, Dave, this is going to be a great match. We started the state tournament, 384 players, an incredible thing. Players signed up by teams into a lottery system this year because these are coveted spots. And we had a championship flight decided yesterday. Dave, who won the championship flight, which was really a pro-am. The pros from clubs played with one of their club members.
And the winners of the championship flight were Lynn Burrish and Clarissa O'Hearn, representing the Plainfield Country Club. And they defeated Stacy Berman and B. Lopez, representing the Orange Lawn Tennis Club.
And Dave, what a party it was. It was a great reception yesterday afternoon. There were hundreds out here cheering on Clarissa and Stacy. Some people were interested in watching B. Lopez and Lynn Burris, but not as many who were fascinated with the play of Stacy Berman and Clarissa O'Hearn. A tough task for the AMs to come into this and come out here with 2 of the best women in the country, Dave. And it was a highlight for them, and you know, a highlight especially for O'Hearn to come out with the win. She is the #1 female watcher of everything platform tennis, and her husband, I think, is in disbelief the number of hours of platform tennis she watches. She's a student of the game. Great win for them yesterday. Really fun to watch.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah, no, and to your point, Patty,
Spin, and then we can figure out who's warming up where.
it's tough for the club member to play with the pro because, you know, before they walk on the court, they know they're going to see a lot of the balls, so they know they've got to sort of be on their game and they have to be at their best. And you know, it's exciting to see that division, and you know, it's really good opportunity for, you know, different players to get to play with different partners.
Yeah, they did a great job. It was so fun to watch Stacy and Clarissa get ready to defend the roller coming off of Lopez or Burris's paddle, and they both battled great, Dave. It was really fun to watch. Dave, not only did we have a championship pro-am, we had A, B, C, D, E, F flights in this tournament. Some have been decided, some will be decided. Why don't we get into that after this match gets underway, because I know we're going to be hearing from Carol very soon.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Patty. We have all the finals are out there now in all the divisions. They're battling it out for the title of state champion.
Okay, so the players are taking their serve, Dave, so we do have a quick window here. Let's go through. Who's in the finals of the A flight, please, Dave?
So the A flight we're watching, again, it's Sarah Harron and Susie Keel taking on Nikki Kura and Jen Nielsen.
All right, B flight, who do we have?
The B flight, we have Annie Mitnick and Nikki Mullen taking on Jamie Eigner and Joanne Harrington.
Lovely. Your team from Fiddler's Elbow. Nice.
And then we also have another Fiddler's Elbow team, Lisa Petticone and Missy Scambati, taking on Ashley Kubiak and Elizabeth Oldendorp.
Nice. What club do they represent, Dave? Is that Morris County?
They are Morris County.
Okay.
Then we have Sally Allen and Kim Politsky.
Representing, do you know where they're from?
I want to say Fairmount Country Club.
Okay.
And then we have Christina Curial and Tonya Mays in the D Division final.
Do you know what club they represent, Dave?
I don't. How about you?
You know what? We'll do some research.
And we'll get that throughout the course. We'll let everybody know. In the E Division, we have Wendy Lunt and Laura Smith taking on Emily Cohn and Allison D. Clementi.
And we don't know what clubs they represent, but we'll find that soon.
The F Division, we have Clarissa Valdez and Suzanne Warzala. They took on Kate Adele and Healy Urban, with Valdez and Warzala winning 6-4 in the third set.
Easy for you to say, Dave.
Yeah, and a highly contested three-setter, 6-4, 6-7, 6-4.
Wow. Awesome. So, Dave, this is a great warm-up, you know, for those of you tuning into the live stream, especially Bonnie Cody, former player out of Clearwater. She is so proud to see Clearwater represented here in the state final. The little hut in the woods over there in Summit, Dave, you would never know it's there. You drive in, you don't even know there's paddle courts there, and they're just stuck in the woods. Great little spot, and that's the beauty of platform tennis. You still have these pockets of these smaller communities. They're a 2-court facility. I remember it was huge when they got heaters about 8 years ago. It was a game changer, obviously, for winter play. It made all those members much happier. But a great little club with a lot of spirit, and they made it into Series 1 this year, Dave, with their recent win. And Jen Nielsen coming over from Noe Pond. Jen was a longtime player. Noe Pond, loved Noe Pond Club, loved representing them, made the move over, and she seemed to be the missing key to the puzzle for Clearwater, and they have gotten themselves into the highest series in New Jersey State play. Dave, how many series are there throughout the season in the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League? I mean, I'm going to give you 3 choices. Is it 7, 9, or about 17?
17.
Nice, Dave. I can tell you are on fire for my questions.
No, I did actually know it was 17 after a momentary
Well, the blank
pause.
look you gave me.
Yeah.
It's okay, Dave.
And matches are played on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
And on the screen, DeFeo and Flynn were the number 2 seeds. And I guess when Big E, the producer, looked into his crystal ball, he put their names in. But oh no, Dave, your team, Susie Keel and Sarah Herron, had something to say about it and took them out in a great 3-set match, Dave. I forget. Do you know what the scores were of that match yesterday?
I think we have it somewhere.
Hey, one more each.
6-2, 4-6, 10-0 in the tiebreaker.
Is that score correct? I can't
6-2,
believe
4-6,
my
10
former partner
10-2.
Hillary could lose 10-0 in a
No,
tiebreaker.
10-2, 10-2.
10-2, okay.
Ad side, okay?
10-2.
Watch your setup on the ad side for the, yeah.
Dave, like me, you're going to get the balance of wearing reader glasses so you can do this and look at the monitor and at your sheets
Yeah, turn it
at
off
the
so you
same
can.
time.
Okay, thanks a lot. Sure.
Feel like a
Whatever.
bobblehead. Can we get an APTA Dave Broderick and commentator bobblehead? With glasses on, of course.
Yep. So the players have left the court to go talk to their support people, I believe, right now. No, little last-minute preparation, and then we'll be underway here. Like we said, 384 players, Dave, 7 divisions of play. This is a great time to thank all the women who made this possible. The New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis Board, Kim Elander, Priscilla McElhaney, Leslie Conway, Karen Proscia, Heidi Calderon, Alyssa Todd, Erin Richards, Diane Brown, Bernadette Riley, Stacy Patterson, Stephanie Delodo, Carolyn Beers, Melissa Lucchini, Charlotte Burtz, Ellen Smith, Ellen Birchinall, and Becky Wolf. We can't thank them enough for volunteering on that board and running the show, Dave. Getting lots of fun, making lots of decisions when, you know, people shift their lineups and all those things. And the board is great, Dave. They have the launch party. They kick off the season with a launch tournament. Pam Randazzo, the outgoing president, I believe that was one of her brainchild last fall, last season, Dave, and
then what I'll
great
do is when
event
your
to
partners come back,
get everybody back
I'll
after the
announce
summer,
what
and
their matches
super
and
enthused about the platform tennis season. And the culmination is this event, and this is the second year they've live streamed the A championship match.
You know, the launch, the initiative was a great idea. Pam Randazzo, I think Melissa Lucchini was involved in that, and I know she sort of spearheads that. And you know, I think they have a couple hundred women playing a week before the season starts throughout New Jersey at various clubs. So, no, great things with the New Jersey Women's League moving forward. You know, and I think one of the things is that in the sport, and try to keep it fresh for everybody and get more people involved. You know, it's always changing, and you want to try to stay ahead of where it's going.
No hat? Okay. All right. I'd like to welcome everyone to the New Jersey State Flight A Championship Finals 2025. On my right, serving first will be Susie Keel from Montclair, New Jersey, and Montclair Golf Club. Her partner in the ad court is Sarah Herron from Rumson, New Jersey, from Navesink, New Jersey, at Navesink Country Club. On my left, in the deuce court, Jen Nielsen from Madison, New Jersey, and Clearwater Club. Her partner, Nikki Kura, in the ad court from Summit, New Jersey, also from Clearwater Club. Best 2 out of 3 format. Good luck, ladies.
For everyone watching, we know the scoreboard is incorrect. It will be fixed when our IT guy gets out of a meeting.
Production meeting.
A production meeting. Dave, who's serving?
This
Susie
is-
Keel to serve.
There you go. Thank you, Carol, our chair umpire on it. Carol Evertson from the Montclair Golf Club. Patty, and as the first point's going on here, what are you looking to see? What do you think is going to give one team the advantage over the other team?
I believe at the this
Love 15.
level, I believe it's going to come down to overhead placements. I feel like if the net team can place their overheads well, not create offensive opportunities like that, I feel like at this level you see less transition than you see at the pro level in the sport. I think everybody's a little bit nervous being on the live stream for the first time in their careers. Kind of like, Dave, are you nervous this morning calling this match?
I'm always, a little bit, always nervous to do this.
15-30.
Well, and Pam Randazzo, president of the league, gave us some tips. She said, don't worry about facts. Nothing has to be correct. Just have fun doing it. So it's a win-win, Dave.
All right,
So-
that makes it easier.
So I feel like if the serving team, Dave, can control that first volley somewhat, I feel like the serving team is probably going to win 70% of the points. That would be my guess. Would you agree with that guess, or what?
I do, absolutely. You know, if you, as I tell everyone, if you never miss a serve, never miss a return,
Well,
never,
no, just
never
the
miss
first
it,
volley.
the first volley, 70% of the time, you're going to win the point.
Joe.
So right away, Dave, we can see Sarah out of that ad court. Heron, she likes that two-handed backhand. Do you agree, Dave?
No, she's got a pretty big two-handed backhand.
Well, you've
Likes
seen her
hitting
play.
it. Yep.
Does
No,
she hit her forehand?
She hits her forehand. She hits both shots.
Keel.
Yeah, and you see right away the team of Nielsen and Kura are looking to apply pressure early on the return of serve, and on the other side, you do see Harron and Keel going right to the Australian right away.
That's game. Keel and Harron lead the first set. 1 game to love.
Dave, so we see a lot of lefty-righty combinations in the game of platform tennis on the men's side, not so much on the women's side, not as many lefties out there. And right away, that lefty overhead, you know, pinning it in, getting a winner in that deuce court, that ad court corner.
And I think for, you know, all the players that are in the league and that play You know, one of the things we talk about how lefty-righty is becoming and always has really been an advantage. It's just taking advantage of it and sometimes, you know, moving the ball a little bit too much and it's a little detrimental.
So Dave, can you identify the players on the court for your fellow commentator here?
Sure, so at the bottom of the screen serving, we have Nikki Cura in all black without a hat, and her lefty partner up at the net is Jen Nielsen, and she's serving to Sarah Harron.
15-40.
And her partner on the left side on the top of the screen is Susie Keel. So even in this game, Patty, we see Cura was serving at love 40, 2 missed returns, 2 lobs long, and now it's add in. 3 returns missed.
Cura and Nielsen, 1. Harron and Keel, 1. Sarah Harron to serve.
Dave, true or false? Sarah Harron played water polo in high school.
True.
Nice. True or false? She's a big Duke fan.
Oh, very true.
True or false? Susie Keel played volleyball.
She did, true. And by the way, that was an amazing volley there by Sarah Harron.
See how far in Nikki stands when she puts that pressure, constant pressure from her return to serve. She loves to be up there. Nikki has phenomenal hands, true or false? Her phenomenal hands are a result of her playing water polo, Dave, or badminton?
Badminton. So I don't mind her moving in and trying to take that ball early, but she kind of has to make it. It's one thing to put pressure on positively, but if you're really not gaining any advantage.
Well, it's her style. She has the style of play she will always, I've seen her play for a million years. And did you know, Nikki?
That's game Harron. Harron and Keel lead the first set, 2-1.
Did you know Nikki, originally from Belfast, Ireland, Dave?
I did not know that.
Played some badminton, came over here 25 years ago at the Millennium. On that day, they flew over and they had no idea if the computers were going to work, if the flights were going to work, but they were moving their family over to Summit, New Jersey, and she's been a member of Clearwater, I think, ever since, Dave, and a huge force in leading that team over the years to their successes. Again, a lot of confidence in the return of serve from Susie Keel there, and you could see Sarah Harron making that move forward, Dave. Hey, Dave, before we go too far, let's talk about the draw for this tournament. How many teams played in it? I believe 32.
So in the A division, yes, we had 32 teams. Everybody that is here playing today played 4 matches yesterday.
So why don't you tell us how Keel and Harron got here?
The road to the finals for Harron and Keel, the #1 seeds. In the first round, they took down Di Tommaso and Lombardi. The second round, they took down Collins and Sprague.
Wait, Di Tommaso and Lombardi, that's a team.
That
okay,
is
keep
a
going,
team.
Dave.
A little bit of a tough one in the second round, 7-5, 7-5 over
Advantage,
Collins
go.
and Sprague.
That's a great team, Collins and Sprague.
Third round, they took down Elander and Julik.
That's a great team, Dave.
Another tough one, 6-4, 6-4. And then in the semifinals, they beat the 4-seed Oros and Waters 6-1, 6-1.
Oh, wow.
Quite surprising.
Yeah, they're a solid team, too.
And Cura and Nielsen, their road came as the
Game,
number 2 seeds.
Harron and Keel. Harron and Keel lead the first set 3-1.
They took down McGinty and Rolke.
That's a good team.
Keel to
In the
serve.
second round, they took down Randazzo.
I mean, wait, that's the number 103 ranked team in the country. That's a huge win.
And then they took
Top
down
15.
Leone and Smith,
That's a good
a
team.
tough match. And then they beat DeFeo and Flynn in a, like we said, 6-2, 4-6, 10-2,
15-0.
third set tiebreaker, tough match.
That's a great team. A lot of good wins for
No, a
these
lot
teams.
of-
They
yeah.
solid path to the finals here. Pretty important game here, Dave. Down
30-15.
down 3-1. Harron and Keel are looking really solid. I think that Nielsen and Kura just need to get their footing a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's, I mean, for Keel and Harron, I think they've just made less mistakes up to this point.
40-15.
No one else needs to tell me that.
Hey, the good news is people are watching.
Shout out to Leslie Conway out there.
Here, come back. You got it. Back, partner.
15-0.
You got it, yep. Here, come back.
Yeah, a little indecision as to who was going to defend that lob, but it was a beautiful deep lob
30-15.
out of that deuce court from Keel.
Patty, hopefully we'll see more long points. That was a really good point to watch. Good off-pace drive there by
30-0.
Sarah Harron.
I like that. You saw Nielsen kind of got caught about a step inside the service line, and because it wasn't hit super hard, Nielsen just had a hard time coming up with that low first volley. Another good lob from Keel out of that deuce court, Dave.
Oh, thank God.
30-40.
You know, Kerr had that shot, Dave. She had so many choices, and she loves angles as much as anybody in the New Jersey League, but there just wasn't an angle there for her to execute.
And I think, quite honestly, if that went over the net, it was going to be wide.
It was going to be wide.
I would have liked to have seen a nice drive right down the middle of the court.
Yeah, but it's Nikki. She's an artist on the court, Dave.
Like you see there, there's a lot of confusion at the net. They're not really sure who's hitting the overheads.
It worked out great that time.
Patty, I try to
Nielsen's overhead caught
right.
Keel a little bit off guard there.
Patty, I try to remind everyone not to get confused with what you get away with and what's right and wrong.
You do, Dave.
Because
You're like a spiritual leader on that sense, in that way.
I think maybe I should have been a philosopher.
Oh, you are. Another great return of serve out of that out court.
Harron and Keel lead the first set 5 games to 3.
And I really like out of the ad side, Sarah Harron, how she sort of hasn't been attacking the return of serve since earlier on. And I really like how she's changing speeds up. The team of Nielsen and Kerr, they're looking for sort of the hard hit drive, and she's doing a really good job of changing speed. Tell you, Patty, you see here Keel and Harron going to the I formation, Australian. And on the other side, I don't really love that they're switching to the wrong side of the court, because now it's opening up that forehand volley for Keel, and she's getting caught flipping her paddle too much.
15 off. 15 off.
What do you mean the wrong side of the court, Dave?
Well, Sarah Harron on the last one was going to the right side of the court. Susie Keel was going to the left, and now their backhands were in the middle of the court. I would like to see if they're going to go to the I formation, at least go to the correct side of the net so that the forehands are in the middle.
Understood. I think sometimes, Dave, when I see the I formation, I think people do it to screw up the return team and see if it can offset them, just create a little indecision in their minds. Versus that the person at the net is actually doing something wonderful. It doesn't come down to that, it seems.
Keel. That's the first set. Harron and Keel with the first set. 6 games, 6 to 3. 6 games to 3.
So as we said, there are 7 events in this New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League event, run masterfully
Ladies, you want a new ball?
by the New Jersey League by Diane Brown, who's done a phenomenal job, and her main assistant, Priscilla McElhaney. Oh my Lord, what planning went into this, Dave? They work on this. We said they came up with, they started the season in New Jersey with the launch event. And I don't know how many clubs, Dave, were involved. Is this a good time to ask you questions, or
Sure,
do you
absolutely.
need to text someone?
No, not at all. We're still getting texts about the scoreboard, so I just want to.
Okay.
I just want to inform everyone that
I
we're on it.
thought you were setting up your next massage therapy session.
No. That's 4 o'clock today. A little PT on my back.
Okay, so you're all set on that.
Yep, absolutely. I want to say
So Diane Brown, Jenna McClintock, Dave, the whole league, they really are diligent in maintaining the rules for the New Jersey Women's League. Sometimes as pros, we kind of scratch our heads with some of the decision making, but they're all a volunteer board. They think and talk things through, possibly maybe a little too long, but they do a wonderful job, all joking aside. And this is a great finale to their season that started with the launch. So Dave, can you reintroduce our players?
Absolutely. So at the net, who just hit the overhead is Nikki Cura, and her partner is Jen Nielsen on the right.
Nikki is down to the tank top, and Jen Nielsen is the lefty.
Lefty on the right of your screen up at the net. And on the baseline in the left on the deuce side, hitting the ball now is Susie Keel, and her partner on the top of the screen to the right is Sarah Harron.
Dave, so second set, thinking about Kira and Nielsen. What do they have to do here to turn this thing around?
Stop making mistakes.
Okay, that's deep. You got anything more, Dave?
I think 2 things. My thoughts in the beginning of the match were I thought the team that made fewer mistakes and kept playing within their system of play were going to come out ahead. And, again, I think for Cura and Nielsen, when they're at the net, I don't know if they're 100% sure who's hitting every ball.
It seems like it's a later decision, and the result of that is that you have 2 people around the tee, and they're getting caught a little bit off the net, I can see.
And they're kind of getting in each other's way a little bit.
And I also think because they're hitting from deep, they tend to hit that flat overhead only, Dave. I would love a little bit more variety in their overheads. And I think somehow they've got to serve a little better, Dave. They've got to move their serves around because they seem to be feeding the strengths of Heron and Keel.
That's game, Kura.
I think from a net perspective as well for Kura and Nielsen
lead the second
to
set,
get back into
one
this
game
match,
to love.
I think they, on their overheads as well, they have to hit more side screens. They're hitting too many backside screens, and it's not forcing Heron and Keel into the back of the court. It's giving them more opportunities for lobs or drives, and the ball's getting back on Kura and Nielsen a little bit too quickly.
So you've got to be in standing for these women to execute and hit that side screen first, Dave. What has to be in play for them?
The ball has to be a little bit shorter. They've got to turn their bodies more, a little bit more, taking the ball higher up in the air, snapping their wrist down a little bit.
All of those things difficult to do when you're pushed back because of the lobbing of, I think Keel and Harbin have done a pretty good job of keeping Nielsen and Kura close to the net.
So there you see a backside screen again, and it created offense for Sarah Heron, who took advantage of it.
I love how she followed that play in, Dave, and
I'm sorry.
on top of the net.
50.
Okay.
Susie,
Oh,
15
sorry.
love.
Yes.
So Dave, quick review of the score, please. And we know the scoreboard's wrong, gang.
Just wide. 30, love.
First set, Dave.
So the first set was won by Sarah Heron and Susie Keel, 6-3. They are at the bottom of your screen, and at the top of your screen, we have Jen Nielsen in the deuce side of the court. Her partner, Nikki Kura, are up 1-love here in the second set.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. That's okay. Good shot. No worries.
30, 15.
Show me. Yes.
Just back. 40, 15.
Bounce.
That's game, Keel.
All right, so Patty, it's
Set stands
1-all here in the second set.
Dave, this will not be my first screw up of the day, but I'm hoping it's my last screw up. The scoreboard error was because of me. I didn't have my reading glasses on when we picked the names for this final match, so that was all on me. Patty Hogan's fault. We
Oh, no.
apologize.
You're about to get 6,000 more emails.
I might lose my
Text
weekend
messages.
my weekend job, Dave.
Point, 15 love.
You're great, Carol.
Oh, yeah.
You got it. Fine.
Good overhead into that corner.
30
Plus
love.
forced an error, an off-balance shot from Heron out of that ad court.
Nice,
30, 15.
and that one got away from Sarah Harron there. A little too much juice on that forehand. What a volley there by Susie Keel. Soft hands dying into the back screen.
Shout out to Jamie Heckelman from Canoebrook, Damian Johnson, APTA president, enjoying the action and appreciative of my on-air apology about my first screw-up of the day. So Dave, I see a lot of the I formation out here. Versus
More
playing
traditional. But do you think with all the I formation we're watching, do you think it's having an impact on the match?
I do not, because I don't see that any team is
Is
driving
gaining
the
an
ball,
advantage, correct.
is getting an advantage
Right.
off of it. And that's what I said. People seem to be doing it just to do it.
Right.
Because they know it's a great idea. Hey, let's try out.
Well, I
let's
think
try
sometimes
this.
people do it because somebody told them about it.
Exactly. Dave, if someone plays I formation against you, just pretend someone did that against you. It probably has never happened. Where would you hit your return?
Down the line. Open space.
Advantage, Karen Keel.
And you know someone's going to be moving there. So platform tennis is a big game of making shots while you're stationary and set and balanced. More misses happen when
Game,
people are on the
Karen
move.
Keel. Karen and Keel lead the second set. 2 games.
So Harron and Keel are looking strong here, Dave.
And Patty, again, we're talking about it from the get-go of this match. You know,
Sarah Harron to serve.
it seems like everybody wants to play fast here, but unfortunately, I think it's not favoring both teams by playing fast. Right now, we are seeing a big difference
Reggie Love.
that Harron and Keel are gaining an advantage by, you know, the pace of play. And I think at this point, again, you're down a set, you're down a break. I don't know if the return should be moved in so far, trying to speed up play.
30 Love.
And I understand that's your style of play. I understand that's what you feel comfortable. But at some point, we got to get these points going on longer and longer.
30-15.
So Dave, a lot of women, you know, I hear them after matches say, "Oh, we lost this match. They were good drivers. They played like tennis players," and you don't see super long matching and not a lot of lobbing. I would say. At what point does that change, Dave? As a paddle player, when you were making your ascent, I mean, I know your trajectory was instantaneous, soaring off the charts. But for most human beings,
Ooh, no. If I knew back when I started what I know now, oh, look out.
What would have been different for your paddle career, Dave? Would you have been anywhere as good as your
information is-
brother?
Potentially. I might have the height factor on him.
I
but
feel,
it is, you
I
know,
feel
it
like
is-
he has a healthier diet overall, Dave.
He certainly does. And, you know, he's, as we know, you know, when we talk about this all the time, skills are one thing, but, you know, Drew is probably one of the best tacticians in the country. And, you know, I think when we're watching, you know, on Tuesday mornings women's matches or Tuesday night or Monday night or Saturday men's matches, I think sometimes the tactics and the game plan isn't there, and players just go out and play.
What do you mean they play?
they just, you know, when the ball comes to them, they hit it, and wherever it goes, it goes. There's no set plan.
Kane, Current, and Nielsen. Second set stands, 2 games each.
You know, and I think there's a big decision to be made, and it's a fine line of, well, this is how I like to play. Well, if it's not working, at some point you've got to make a decision to change it, or the outcome is not going to be favorable for you. Like right there, I would have loved more for Nikki Cura to hit that ball coming from the ad side, the right side of the court. She should be further back off the net, looking to play that overhead.
I mean, I think the difference in the match, we saw it early on, is just that play, Dave. If they could clean up that one thing, when a lob comes from that ad court, typically the ball's traveling across court, that would be a great time for the righty to hit that next overhead. Unless it's a shorter ball, I would say. Once it's deep, you don't want that lefty backing over, you know, and backing into her paddle, into her partner. And you can see, you know, a big difference. Higher level, deeper serves, Dave, a little more pace here.
But again,
the serves are getting attacked.
But again, my question is, it's love 40.
Heron and Keel lead the second set, 3 games to 2.
Why is Sarah Heron moving in, trying to win the point, quote unquote? She should just, the pressure's on the serving team already. They're down love 40. At love 40, you have to make them hit a volley. You can't give away free points, because for all the matches you and I watch, you know, there are millions of love 40 games that the serving team comes back and wins. You can't give away free points in platform tennis.
Again, a little confusion actually for Keel and Heron as well right there.
That's
where,
kind of
you
the
know,
first time we saw it from them.
Right.
Love 15.
But most players will drive the return of serves, and we all coach everybody, you know, take advantage of a short serve. But if there is confusion in the middle between the partners, then a lob return of serve can be super effective and smart and timely.
Love 30.
Ready? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think by, you know, Cura's style, she likes to short hop that ball, Dave.
Love 40.
I'll tell you what, you watch that drive there by Jen Nielsen down the middle. With a lefty-righty combination, that is the one sort of weak spot, is the volley down the middle. Someone's going to have to play a forehand volley, and I think Nielsen and Cura are doing a really good job of keeping the ball down the middle in this game.
Wow, great get out of that odd corner. That was a badminton get from Cura out of that odd court.
See, like even on that, why are 2 people backing up for 1 overhead?
But they called it, and Nielsen got the hit on the diagonal. That was cool.
Game, Current, and Nielsen.
All right.
Second set stands 3-3.
There's no reason this won't go 3 sets, Dave. Kudos to Cura and Nielsen, kind of, you know, they got it together. Made a good run late in that first set. They didn't pack it in. They tried to solve the puzzle out here a little bit, and they've done that, and we're at 3-all. Second set, New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League A-Flight Finals. I mean, you think this is exciting. Wait till this weekend in Philly, Dave. Philly Cricket Club. Getting ready to host the men's and women's nationals. A ton of prep. Everybody's heading to Philly at some point today. Play begins tomorrow, Thursday, with women's finals slated for Saturday afternoon, and followed by the men's finals. Tune in all weekend or go to Philly Cricket Club and watch it live, Dave, in person.
So, Patty, looking forward to being down in Philly. I know Bruce Redpath and his committee, his team is excited. They're pumped, and I was having a conversation with several people, and I think it's going to be an amazing event, because I think from day one, Bruce Redpath has really wanted to take this on with his team down in Philly. And, you know, I think one of the things that always leads to a good event is wanting to run it.
Great shot, Nick.
Yeah,
40-30.
he's totally into it. And Bruce is amazing. He called me yesterday morning, Dave, and we're just giving each other the, the powwow. We're getting psyched for the event. He can't wait for it to start now. And he asked me if there's anything we need, Dave, as live stream announcers. How nice is that for the tournament
Very nice.
director? I said we just need a luxury trailer, recliner.
I was going to say the recliner at Short Hills was pretty nice, I must say.
Just like closest marker. Deuce.
I like a snack aisle nearby, personally, Dave.
Advantage, Heron and Keel.
Again, a little bit of an I formation, hand signals. Which way is she going? She covering the line, Dave?
Deuce.
See, make her cover the line. Make her make a reaching volley versus trying to go cross
Right.
court at that point, because she's not sure if she's making the move or not, but that line is open.
Interesting overhead there.
Advantage. Nielsen.
That tide has turned a little bit, Dave. I feel like there's a little bit of a press feeling right now with
Game.
Keel and Harmon.
Nielsen.
Well, and I think
They
for-
weren't pressing.
That stands. Kura and Nielsen. 4. Keel and Harry. 3.
They weren't pressing and they had no reason to press. And
Correct.
now, because of the scoreboard pressure, now all things were even in a 3-all game. I felt like they tightened up a little bit in that game, and Kura and Nielsen have their first lead of the match, 4-3, second set.
Right, and to your point, exactly. I think just Kura and Nielsen are maybe keeping a couple more balls in every point, and it's making a big difference here. But to your point, I love that term, scoreboard pressure.
Scoreboard pressure.
That could have been our first hold of the second set.
Love 15.
Again, you see both players well inside the baseline, really just trying to put that pressure and just try to distract the server coming in on that first volley.
Nantino.
Patty, we've seen a lot of lobs going long.
I was just going to, Dave, you are psychic because you knew I was about to bring that up with you.
30-15.
And the temperature this morning in Summit, New Jersey, Canoebrook Country Club, compared to 2 days ago, 30-degree difference.
Would you say lobbing long is kind of a no-no in platform tennis?
Oh, Dave, are you going to lecture me on the no-nos and the yes? Yeah, we don't want to lob long. My point, I was thinking about it, is how come they're lobbing long? It is a warmer day. The ball's a little livelier out here. It was 20 degrees a couple days ago. And so it's just, there's got to be some adjustment here.
And I also think as a baseline team, you shouldn't be trying to lob it over the net team's head. Because if you're lobbing it over their head, chances are it's going out more than it's staying in. I like to coach everyone to lob to the
30-40.
service line or just beyond it.
Sure, and lob into the middle of the court and make the other team
Make a decision.
make a decision. That would be the key strategy probably on lobbing here.
Good net coverage there by Sarah Harron.
You got it. I'm back.
Good scrambling here by Nielsen and Kura.
Oh, my bad.
Game. Kura and Nielsen. Kura and Nielsen lead the second set 5-3.
So Dave, you got your wish when you showed up here today. You said, I hope this is a 3-set, really competitive match, and it's turned into that. That was a really good deep serve from Kura there to start that, Dave.
Yeah, no, and you saw they were able to establish position at the net a little bit easier. And again, I still am questioning the overhead choices of who's hitting the overheads. But
Love 15.
And just I'd love to see a little bit more variety in the overheads, Dave. Just most of the overheads sound like they're being hit the exact same way. And I just think a little change of pace is a way to kind of get your opponents a little bit off guard, maybe force an error occasionally.
So you see right there, Pura and Nielsen are not taking advantage of that lefty-righty. Jen Nielsen could be hitting more of those overheads, and she could be hitting them into the side screen.
Jen Nielsen is up at the net, the lefty, on the near side.
Right, and you see Cura moving back there, and from straight on, she can only hit the ball straight back.
So that's Nikki Kerr with the sleeveless top on the left of your screen on this side. Far side, Susie Keel, the lefty, hitting that lob out of the deuce corner. And that's Sarah Harron out hitting in that ad court on the far side. This is the finals of the A flight in the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Fiddler at Elbows Rackets Director Dave Broderick.
15-30.
It's like even there, Cura and Nielsen lost that point, but I felt like it looked like there was a plan and a system of play.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I would have loved to have seen one more shot.
Straight ahead, yep.
Back at that deuce player. Nielsen had started it, working Susie Keel, and Nikki got a short ball, but her tendency is automatically go and switch sides of the court, which causes a lot of movement on their team, which then creates some openings for them to cover. They weren't covering them so well in the first set. They're doing a little better job in this second set for sure.
Yeah, again there, I think Nielsen should be hitting that overhead because now you have no net coverage either.
But you didn't see a recognition of Keel or Harron from the baseline, Dave. They saw two players go back, 3/4 depth, and they just stayed on the baseline. One of them could have moved in, possibly get a blitz, look for a blitz, apply that kind of physical pressure. Pretty short serve from Kerr, but
40-30.
big play from Jen Nielsen right there to get involved and pick off that ball and hit it right at the feet of Sarah Harron, who is moving forward.
Patty, set point here.
No.
So a more deliberate play going after Susie Keel, Dave, in that deuce court right now from Nielsen and Kerr in this game.
Yeah, and I think, they're in a way stronger position just tactically at the net. They have someone at the net, Cura volleying, and they have somebody at the back a little bit hitting the overheads.
And the somebody is Jen Nielsen, the lefty.
That game is set. Kerr and Nielsen, we're going to a third set.
So, Dave, it seems that Jen Nielsen, the lefty from Clearwater, when she plays, she backs off the net a lot. And she'll back off the net and maybe steal her partner's overhead and then hit that ball over to the deuce court, where if the play's already in the deuce court, Jen Nielsen, who from what I can see wants to hit every overhead, it just keeps her in a position of strength for her, and then Nikki Kerr can kind of do some damage from in close. So, Dave, this is a good ending to this event, to go 3 sets here. Diane Brown would want nothing else. Diane, a member playing out of Short Hills Club and the tournament director for this event. She's done a great job. So much planning has gone into this, and we're grateful for that. Looking ahead, we talked about the Nationals. Last weekend, Dave, we had a phenomenal Junior Nationals. Thanks so much to the APTA membership and to our sponsors, Volley and Corian, for their support of everything platform tennis during the platform tennis season. Junior Nats was a blast. The highlight, Dave, besides Vincent, your nephew, winning the boys 12 and unders with Mason Fair, for me was to see the Lori Hissey fan club in attendance. We lost Lori Hissey to her courageous fight with cancer in January, and just to see the kids, Radley Run kids, Jeremiah DeJose from Radley Run, all of them kind of really feeling emotional about Junior Nationals, but you could just see, you could feel Lori's spirit. She was with us all day on Saturday, And the sport will miss Lori so much, and so will each of us.
No, absolutely. Lori, was always a part of junior nationals, whether she had 30 kids playing, 3 kids playing. She was always eager to volunteer, give up her time, her weekends, or on the day of the event, always up here. So yeah, it was a great day, and as I said on air on Saturday, I think with everything that was going on, all the kids' participation, we did have some kids that won gold medals. We had some kids that won silver medals, but I think overall platform tennis was the winner on Saturday with the camaraderie and the sportsmanship and just the overall play and enthusiasm of the kids.
And Dave, the other thing that was the highlight for me was hearing you and Macy Elliott, Chris Humphreys do most of the live streaming, celebrating the kids and their successes on court. Kudos to all the pros from New Jersey who volunteer their time for junior nationals. Not just New Jersey. Jeremiah came up from Philly.
Thank you.
Macy Elliott came down from Connecticut.
We had a pro from Canada, no? Was it
Rob Mitchell came down and he helped out over at the Short Hills Club.
Mind you, you're not getting done.
And Dave, Rob Mitchell, the team from Toronto, I mean, he stepped up to the plate, brought 21 kids down, where, let's go. Canubrook's the home of platform tennis junior nationals. Let's get more kids in this area involved, Dave. Let's get all the pros to try to get a couple of teams next season. It's such a highlight. And the fact that we live stream it, we have a family tailgate party, makes for a great event.
No, it's an amazing event year in and year out.
So we'll turn it back to the action here, Dave. We are entering the third set. Kura and Nielsen had a big comeback there after losing the first set to Harron and Kiel, 6-3. They won that second set, 6-3, and we are starting the third set. I'm Patty Hogan, along with Dave Broderick in Summit, New Jersey at Canubrook Country Club.
Third set, love.
Dave, can you identify the players for us?
Absolutely. Serving on the bottom of the screen is Susie Kiel. Her partner at the net on the left-hand side of your screen is Sarah Harron. And their opponents on the top of your screen to the right is Nikki Cura, who just hit that forehand winner. And her partner in the deuce side of the court to the left with, I believe, a blue shirt is Jen Nielsen.
15 all.
This is a really critical game, Dave, for which team? I think for Harron and Kiel.
I do as well, considering, a couple things.
30,
One is
15.
they lost the previous set, so the momentum has kind of shifted a little bit. But also there's been a lot of breaks to serve, so if they can get a hold here, I think it'll pay off maybe in the end.
40, 15.
And Harron had success right there against Kura, in that ad court corner. Kura does tend to play in.
Game,
And I think
Kiel.
if you can hit the overhead into that ad court corner behind her, that's a
Kiel
tough
and
play for
Harron
her.
lead the third set. 1 game to love.
So big momentum swing here, Dave, as we have seen in so many platform tennis matches over the years.
Nikki Curra to serve.
So Clearwater, the team from Clearwater, the Hut in the Woods, has a lead here in the championship A-Flight final out of Canubrook.
And I'll tell you, Patty, throughout the course of this first 2 sets so far, it is interesting to see that when there were fewer returns to serve missed, there were breaks to serve.
30 love.
And the times that the serving team's been able to hold serve, a lot of it has to do with just missed returns to serve. So I'd like to see both teams clean up their returns to serve and
30, 15.
make the serving team hit more first volleys.
Dave, the first set was determined by number of errors, way more for Kerr and Nielsen. They've righted their ship, eliminated a lot of those errors here. And this is a pick 'em as we head to the third, early in the third set, Dave. Do you give any team,
30, 40.
who do you give the nod to? An early break, it's going to go a long way, I think.
Harron and Keel. Harron and Keel lead the third set, 2 games to love.
I think Harron and Keel are going to take this third set.
Well, that early break,
Sarah
I
Harron
just,
to serve.
I thought that was a gigantic point after that fault at deuce. Unfortunately for Kerr, that next point, I knew that Harron was going to unload on her return. There's going to be pressure from them. Up 2-love in the third set. Great
Move
pressure.
there. Yep.
Love 15.
And again, both players just standing up close.
And Patty,
It
I'm going
sort of is backfiring, Dave.
I'm going
I
to
think.
say it again. There's been too many missed returns of serve to be moving that close into the net.
So the reason why I say it's backfiring slightly is it's great if you're up there and you're executing, but if you're not, then it puts so much more, they're putting so much more pressure on themselves to hit a good return
Right.
because they are both in. So sometimes it's better off to have maybe one player in just to physically make their presence known to the serving team as they're about to try to hit that first volley. 2 is wonderful if it's working for you, but if it's not, you've got to adjust.
50-30.
Interesting point there. We didn't even see the team of Harron and Keel switch sides at the net there to get their forehands in the middle, causing a little bit of a mistake.
15-40.
You know, I always think in the third set, Dave, depth of serving is like the most critical thing you have to think about as a server. It doesn't matter how hard, but you got to get that ball deeper, give yourself time to get in a better position on the first volley, I think.
And I think even in this game, it's going to sound pretty obvious and simple, but I mean, Cura and Nielsen are just keeping more balls in play.
Yep. Again,
30-40.
tough ball into that corner of, you know, Nikki Cura from Clearwater over there in that ad court. I just think it's so, she is so playing forward and loves to look for the ball in front of her that when that ball gets behind her, that's not her most comfortable look.
And I think there's a time and a place for that. I'm not quite sure this is the time or the place.
All right, far side, Dave. Who's the lefty over there? Susie Keel
Susie Keel and
from Montclair Golf Club.
her partner from Navison Country Club is Sarah Harron, who's about to serve. And she's serving to Jen Nielsen in the blue shirt, blue hat. And her partner in all black is Nikki Cura.
Advantage, Harron.
See right there, Nielsen's got to put that ball in play. Down 0-2. Not that difficult to serve. Make them hit a volley.
Deuce.
Great up the line. That's the shot we're talking about because they're showing the I formation all day long. Put that ball there and make someone stretch out and come up with the volley.
Advantage, Harron.
So I think once your opponents are not messed up by the fact that you show them a different look, Dave, then I think maybe, you know, even a more neutral look might help your team at that
Right.
point. I just feel like there's not a huge benefit to the serving team with the I formation here unless the serves can. That was a great serve up the middle. There, it was super helpful.
Really good volley there by Sarah Harron, nice and deep in the court.
I just think sometimes teams at the net confuse themselves, Dave, with so many things going on. Sometimes keep it simple. Keeping it simple helps.
Good court coverage here by Sarah Harron getting on top of the net.
See right there, the other thing Curie could do out of that ad court, Dave, she's lobbing, and if the lefty is taking that overhead, I think that's a great time for Nikki to move up and look for something.
Deuce.
And again, we see confusion there with the lob down the middle, with the two forehands not really knowing whose ball that is, and we're back to deuce.
So if Nielsen just hits his ball down the line, I would love the play for Kurt because she possibly could get the pop-up setup. But I don't think the returns of serve are effective enough right now from Kura and Nielsen to kind of offset that I formation from Keel and Harron. And again, into that ad court. Kerr likes to block, and blocking the corners is great, but you can't be Betty Blocker all day long, Dave. Like a ball like that was a high ball, going to hit the back screen, come forward into the court. Would have been a great ball to play backside wire for Kerr.
Right, just to give you more time. Really good serve there by Sarah Harris.
Watch it, watch it. Let's go. You got two.
So Dave, when we were talking about your paddle career, when did you realize that to play the screens was a huge benefit to you? Why were you forced to have to play more shots off the screens than what these players are being forced to? They're blocking, a decent amount of the balls that go toward their corners.
Probably, right from the beginning, because I think when you look at the grand scheme of playing it off the screen or blocking the overheads, there's definitely a time and a place to block the ball, to block an overhead coming at you. But I think there's way more benefit of letting the ball go to the screen. A, it gives you more time if you're out of position. B, it slows the ball down. C, you may even have the possibility of driving the ball or lobbing it. When you're blocking the ball, I think sometimes it limits what your capabilities are doing, and it's almost, a lot of the time, it's played more defensively than it is to set something up for the next shot.
Okay, so Dave with a D, you just gave us our ABCs. I want another answer, because I feel like when I started playing, I was forced to play the screens because I played with a ton of men. When I started learning how to play, I got hired at Beacon Hill as a tennis pro. I didn't know platform tennis.
Aaron and Keel lead the third set.
And
3 games.
And most of my practice were with the men who
Hit a lot of balls into screens.
much taller, a lot of quickness, and they, no matter what, when I hit a lob that was a short lob, they 99% hit a side back or a backside on demand, whatever shot they wanted to hit. And that's a huge advantage of the height in this game on the overheads. And because of that, I knew I could get pure balls, and I learned early on how to read the shots. And I think you played against, high-level play who made really solid contact all the time on the overheads, where I think a lot of times in the game, you just don't get those consistent looks in the screen to build your confidence on playing screens.
Right.
So I recommend everybody, play paddle, play in the spring, play summer, play fall when it's warm, and be determined to get out there and use those screens so that you can draw on the screens when you really need to use them as a tactical adjustment during play.
And Patty, I think overall throughout the, game,
15-30.
I think the players that want to let the ball go to the screen are often better screen players than the players that only play the ball off the screen when they have to. And I think that's a mindset that makes a huge difference because, if I'm looking to block more balls, every time I see my opponent wind up and hit a hard ball, my first thought is, oh my God, I'm going to miss this screen. Whereas the players that want to let the ball go to the screen, they're like, oh, piece of cake. I just have to go here, set my paddle low, and I'm going to make this shot, and I'm going to be back in the point.
Dave, when I started playing, Muffin Sloanacre from Summit, New Jersey, former mixed national champ. The first year I played the full season, I got to play with Muffin. Muffin had a phenomenal drive out of the ad court, Dave, so I got to play the deuce court. And she said, Patty, do anything you want, as long as it's a lob. So I developed my lob, a lot that first season. I don't think I ever drove a ball because I didn't want to miss.
Aaron and Keel lead the third set, 4 games to love.
But the benefit to me was I learned to play the screens my first season,
Right.
and I learned to love the screens, and I realized that if every time I lobbed short, or if Muffin lobbed, she usually drove, but if she lobbed short, I knew automatically it was a screen no matter what. And so in knowing that, then it helped me to think screen first, drive second. And I think most of these players think can I drive, can I drive? And then where I'm thinking, okay, I'm pushed back, I'm off balance, there's always going to be a lob, and if I can use the screen, I can almost get the exact same shot over and over and over. And I always found it easier to control the ball off of the screens versus off of the deck on some lobs.
Yeah, no, I mean, great point.
15 love.
You know, and again, I think a lot of it is just comfort level of playing the screens.
Yeah, so we are big lead here, 4-0 in the third set. Herron and Keel are doing a great job, looking very much like that first set where they won it 6-3. Kura and Nielsen did a great job in that second set, minimizing some errors, coming up with some really timely shots. They won it 6-3, but all third set here, Keel and Herron.
15 all.
And Dave, all it takes is one break. You know, I thought the third set would be determined by, you know, whoever was going to get an early service break, because I feel like in this level of play, momentum and that psychological thing about breaking serve almost counts like as a bonus game.
Well, I think even in the second set, Patty, I think Herron and Keel were up 3-1.
They were.
And then next thing you know, 3 games later, they were down 3-4.
Yeah.
And they were in control of the whole match pretty easily.
15-40.
And again, Dave, right there. Nikki just drove the ball straight ahead, got the ball low. Beautiful execution, got the volley error.
I think one of the things a lot of people forget when they're playing is that
Great lob
down
to the middle in a crucial moment right there. Like, it was a lob and it was boring, but that was huge.
Well, Patty,
Herron and Keel lead the third set, 4-1.
I think, again, when we watch, or I watch a lot of these men's and women's league matches, you know, sometimes just letting the other team hit the ball gets overlooked.
Yeah, this isn't a match where there's winners deciding the outcome, Dave. It comes down to the errors. Forced or unforced, it doesn't matter, but it's just coming down to errors. I love that.
15 love.
Sarah out of that out court. Short, really short, just to warn her partner a drop shot was coming. Kura's got those great hands on top of that net. She loves those little shots.
Can we see another backside screen, setting up a little offense for Susie Keel. Nice drive there, good blitz by Sarah Herron.
I just think if the match plays out, the overheads from Kura and Nielsen, just, I think too much of the same pace. I would just love to see a little variety in their pace of their overheads.
No. Nice shot.
15-30.
Nice off-speed return of serve from Susie Keel. Dave straight ahead again, forcing the volley error.
15-40.
A lot of pressure. You can see how Nikki likes that forehand coming in. Comes in pretty wide and opens up a lot of court for Herron
That's game.
with that style favoring her forehand from the ad court.
Patty, I don't know about you, but I'm a big believer at every level you want to make that first volley with a backhand as much as you can.
Well, I'm a big believer, Dave, that you've got to come up toward the middle, and when you come in wide, we split the court in thirds. Everyone agrees with that. Come in toward that middle third, and then if you have to, if you have time to go to a forehand that you can control, I don't lose sleep over that moment. But when you have a choice like that, I think it's a huge disadvantage to play that from that far back on your forehand. So we're at 5-1, big lead here for Herron and Keel in the third set of the A-Flight Finals, the New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League Tournament. Dave, you know what happens Monday in the New Jersey Platform Tennis League? There's a new president in town. Jenna McClintock will take over. She's been shadowing Pam Randazzo, who's done a wonderful job the past year, and Jenna will take over leadership of this organization starting on Monday. Jenna's going to get ready for that by going to Philadelphia, Dave. A lot of the women from this area are going down, rented a big house, and some of them are playing in the tournament. They're going to be there to cheer on all the players. Randazzo will be looking to improve on their 103 national ranking And I think they can do it in Philly cricket. That's a Philly Cricket Club.
Love 15.
So love 15, that's Sarah Herron serving to Nikki Kura. Jen Nelson, the lefty, hitting the ball in the near court. Sleeveless top shirt.
Good shot.
Good
Really?
choice there.
Way to use the back screen, off-speed ball, force the volley error from Susie Keel.
Using that back screen for options, Patty.
It gives you more options than the deck.
I saw a puzzle line.
Okay?
It's 15-30.
Wait, Sarah?
See an overrule there by our chair umpire, Carol Evertson.
You go. No. Ah!
And see, that's,
15-40.
you know, Nielsen's drive. I love that she pulled the trigger there. Her ball might have gone out, Dave, but, you know, little reactive play there. And
it was
missed
down the middle?
volley. Yep, down
You
the
make-
middle.
You make two people, like nobody had to
30-40.
make a decision on that one.
Right, and that's where Jen, at those key moments, she's got to put that ball in play. Just let him make a volley. Because they're trying to claw their way back into this third set.
Current and Nielsen.
Great off-speed return to
Third
serve up the
set
line.
Stands. Howard and Keel, 5. Current and Nielsen, 2.
They've got to, you know, Kura and Nielsen to come back in this match, Dave, and they can. It's those high percentage return to serves. They don't have to hit winners. They just have to apply a little pressure. And because when they see the I formation, simply putting the ball up the line off
Nielsen to
speed
serve.
is your ticket here. No one has that movement or the reach to go and cut off that ball.
Love 15.
Really good drive out of Susie Keel from representing Montclair Golf Club in that deuce court.
Yeah, let's switch. Yep. 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 Yep.
All right. Oh, what
a
a
get.
great play from Herron out of that ad court coming up with that shot. That was big time play. That looked like Philly Cricket Nationals play right there, Dave. Great anticipation. That's Jen Nelson, far side, the lefty, top of the circle.
30-15.
Good pressure on Sarah Herron in that ad court corner.
Big return here, Patty.
Gigantic point. And you could just see Nielsen and Kura, you know, just backing up, and you saw Herron moving in. The person moving forward is going to win that point.
And I think it all started with Herron making Nielsen volley.
Again, look at the
30-40.
forward movement.
And here we are at match point number 1.
That's wide.
Off pace
Game, set,
return to
match.
serve.
Sarah Herron and Susie Keel. 6-3, 3-6, 6-2.
So, Dave, really nice win here. State championship for Sarah Herron and Susie Keel, representing Navasink and Montclair Golf Club, respectively, coming out with the win against Nikki Kura and Jen Nielsen, representing Clearwater, the little hut in the woods, Dave. Nice, well-played match, 6-3, 3-6, 6-2. Dave, I think we are going to wrap that up from Canoebrook, and everyone tune in later this week, starting Friday morning at 8:30 for the Nationals out of Philly Cricket Club. Any last thoughts, Dave?
No, Patty, thank you. Had a fun time this morning. Really good effort by all 4 players. And I will see you in Philly on Friday.
All right, Dave.
closer to that?
No, that's okay.
Are you sure? Wait, no, let's get you closer, as close to the net as possible.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, as long as it's against the chicken wire, that's all I hang on to. And then I'm going to give this to, there's two things there, Sarah. Very good.
We're gonna hold on to it.
That's fine. Don't worry about that.
Put this in your bag, Carol.
Thanks, Susie. See you slacker. I don't even, I guess this goes like this. I don't do this part usually.
Is it bad luck? At least it's after the match.
Drew, I don't know how to get this thing. Yeah, it's okay. I can do that because I'm going to go against the chicken wire. It's just this thing.
No, don't worry about it.
We didn't know what to press. Okay. I'm sorry, it's crazy. I know, don't worry about it. We're done.
Done. Great job. Hey, good stuff to you.
Patty, good job.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You guys look great out there. How long have you been playing?
Who, me? Oh, I've been playing my whole life. How about you?
Wow, I only started playing when I retired.
Someone say retired?
Looking good out there, Eli.
Thank you.